Hi, it's Dr. Sam Robbins. Today's topic is going to be about using an herb called Horny Goat Weed, also known as Epimedium, for natural uses for increasing your libido and sex drive. And I'll quickly go over some reviews, facts, and important health warnings. So let's get started with the very first question, and that's how effective is Horny Goat Weed for increasing your libido and sex drive? Well, horny goat weed is basically a pungent ornamental herb found in Asia and the Mediterranean. And legend has it that the name horny goat weed came from a herder who noticed that his goats became more sexually active after eating the plant. So that's pretty interesting. Now, the use of, Epimedium as a medicinal herb dates back to at least 400 AD, where it's been used as a tonic for reproductive systems such as boosting your libido and treating impotency, and as a rejuvenating tonic to relieve fatigue. Now, horny goat weed is thought to work via modulation of cortisol levels. Now, this is a primary stress hormone, and under conditions of high stress, the increase in cortisol levels are also known to cause fatigue, depress sex drive, and lower testosterone levels. So by lowering cortisol levels back into normal range is thought to help restore the normal metabolism for you, energy levels, and libido, and that's how horny goat weed works. It's interesting to note that at least there are 15 active components that have been identified in Epimedium extracts, but the specific L-arginine extract is noted for stimulating of the sex drive and the reduction of cortisol levels. Again, make sure that the product that you choose is a pure extract, not a powder or root, and at least 30% extract. Anything less and you're pretty much wasting your money, and you'll have to double or triple the dose. And I'll get to that in a second. So now let's talk about some potential warnings that you need to watch out for. And as with anything, there's always a potential negatives. Now, even though horny goat weed is a natural substance and it doesn't have negative side effects when used correctly, unlike prescription drugs, but when used at higher dosages, at 1,000 milligrams or more, it may cause side effects in some people, such as rapid heartbeat, restlessness, and insomnia, and even high blood pressure. And the higher the dose, the worse the side effects. So the secret to reducing and even eliminating the negative side effects is to make sure, number one, you only take the pure extract and it contains the active components, which, as I stated earlier, it's at least minimum of 30% of the L-arginine Epimedium. So that's very important. Number two, do not take a dry root, which is basically just a dead herb and it's worthless. And unfortunately, the dry root form is what's found in a lot of cheaper products. Number three, do not take liquid forms of horny goat weed because it loses most of its effects and potency within a month or two. So again, you want the freeze-dried extract. And finally, do not take it by itself, because when you have to take it by itself, you have to take it very high dosages, and that's when the negative side effects start to begin. And unfortunately, your body starts to adapt. So, therefore, it's best to combine it, horny goat weed, with other synergistic ingredients that are also natural. I'll get to that in a moment, and that's very important. That's what will reduce and eliminate the side effects. So at this point, what's the best and safest solution? I'll be honest with you, there is no one single ingredient that works 100% effectiveness forever, let alone for every single person, and that includes horny goat weed or any other single herb or nutrient. And just think about it. You don't only eat broccoli for best health, and you don't want to only use one herb or nutrient either. So the best products use horny goat weed in conjunction with other key ingredients at specific dosages to dramatically help with increasing your libido and sex drive, and other key ingredients that you should look for when purchasing any product that work in synergy with the horny goat weed. Here's a few. Avena sativa extract is great. Tribulus terrestris, one called Tongkat Ali extract, L-arginine, Vitis, Agnus castus, Yohimbe bark extract, zinc picolinate, to name a few. And when these are combined with the above ingredients along with the horny goat weed, it creates a synergy where you get more positive effects at a much lower dose, and that's the secret. So now you might be thinking, okay, geez, I don't want to take 20 or 30 pills a day, buy a bunch of bottles of herbs, and I don't blame you. Who's got the time or money? Fortunately, there is a proven product called Alpha Viral, which contains all the above key ingredients in the specific extracted dosages, in addition to a couple other helpful ingredients. And the feedback for it has been amazing, and since the product's been around for years, over a decade, you know it works and it's safe. So what I suggest is you give it a try. You can take a look at this page, scroll down, read some reviews, but more importantly, go ahead, give it a try. It's risk-free, and see how it works, and then send me an email. Let me know what benefits you got, how it worked for you. I'd love to get your feedback. And as always, thanks for taking the time to listen. Have a wonderful day.